What's up, Virgo? How are you doing? All right, we're going to be doing a intuitive archetype reading using the 12 houses in astrology. So you could consider yourself to be somebody intuitive, psychic, somebody that gets downloads, somebody that's trying to understand themselves better. You could be interested in the occult or trying to get information about your current situation, or trying to understand what could potentially be coming in the future for you. You could be interested in tarot or astrology as well. Or be talking to a Virgo or interested in the sign of Virgo. So we're going to be doing that. Just shuffle the cards a little bit. One more. All right. All right. First house, we have the Knight. Gemini got the same thing in the first house. We have the child, the shadow of the child eternal for the second. The third house, we have the child divine. The fourth house, we have the prince, the shadow prince. The fifth house, we have the companion. The sixth house, we have the beggar. The seventh house, we have the queen. The eighth house, we have the shadow femme fatale. The ninth house, we have the dilettante. The 10th house, we have the shapeshifter. The 11th house, we have the shadow lover. And the 12th house, we have the vampire. Bottom of the deck is the shadow mentor. Perfect. So, how do we want to run this, Virgo? So if you're Virgo rising, you're coming through as a knight, more than likely the Knight of Pentacles. You could have like an early Virgo birthday or an early Virgo ascendant. It says the Knight, loyalty, romance, and chivalry, a love of honor. So you like to be honored, you like to be recognized, you like to be, like if you do something for someone, you like the feeling of being recognized or appreciated for the things that you do. I think we're going to go 1, and then we're going to run it backwards from there. And we'll stop at 2. So your 12th house, which is going to be your feet. So we just looked at like your face or your crown, and now we're going to go down to your feet. And then in the feet, we have the vampire. There could be somebody wanting to like follow in your footsteps, or somebody that's interested in walking the same path as you. This would be considered the Leo card. Leo deals a lot with like royalty, feelings of like not grandiose, but like feelings of really like assuredness, right? Leo can have this sort of energy that is I don't want to say bombastic. That's kind of what I'm feeling. So somebody could be trying to drain that, or somebody's trying to follow in the same footsteps as you. It makes you aware that someone or something is attempting and or trying to drain your life force. Hey, lady, don't snore. The 12th house deals a lot with your spirituality as well. So be really cautious of that. There could be somebody trying to like destiny swap with you. I don't know, take with that what you will. This could also be talking about people like trying to take your Martian energy, or people trying to like slow you down in some way. In your 11th house, you have the shadow lover. 11th house is like you exalted, right? This could even be somebody trying to drain your finances, because we were talking about how the 12th house is 1, 2. So it's a mixture of both the second house and the first house. It's also in Vedic astrology, they say it's the place of importing and exporting. So like when there are vampiric energies, astrologers especially, they will use the 12th house to pull the energy of your first and second house into their own karma, into their own vampiric energy. So be really cautious of that. Above that is the beggar, though. So that could be talking about like somebody that, say like they upload free content on YouTube. They will energetically tax you because you're not necessarily paying for their service. So it could be somebody like that I'm reading for right now. Somebody that does that kind of thing, right? Not somebody that just like truly gives from the kindness of their heart, but instead they're giving with the intention of taking something of yours, right? It's like nothing is free. It's kind of giving a slight manipulation a little bit. Let's see. The shadow lover, obsessive passion that harms others or a self-destructive devotion is what you're coming through as. That could be somebody that's trying to drain you of that energy, that loving energy that you have, if you do have that. If you are the kind of person that like, that kind of like loves to a fault. Above that, we have the companion as well. All right, let's see. Your 10th house of your career, your reputation. Is that the 10th house? Yeah. We have the shapeshifter. And it says skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness, ability to see the potential in everything. Right, so if you are dealing with vampiric energies, do your best to like channel them or to give them the energy that you don't want. The energy that's slowing you down from showing up as your best self. Try to keep your things that are sacred to yourself. You know, it's looking like there are some really beautiful things in this energy. Now, there could also be some energies here where it's like you are a lover. You are somebody that loves very deeply. You're more than likely somebody that really likes art. Things like that. It says for your 9th house of like higher education, you could have went to like an art school, an art college, or you're just like, you like art. You're really interested in like the refinement of the artistic process, I want to say. Delights in the arts without having to be a professional. Alerts you at the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits in your 9th house. So you could know a lot about something. You could have a lot of knowledge in some field where you're like, maybe you're able to understand things on a deeper level than most people. I feel like you use that to your advantage, as you should, right? You use that to your advantage. Now, the only thing that's kind of not the best about that is clarifying that is the child divine. So this could have even been something that you were just kind of like, you grew up with, like you were always just somebody that was really smart, but it wasn't necessarily like smart. It was just like you're just intuitively witty. You just have like this something about you that's just kind of like glows, or that's just kind of like special. Not like short but special, but like actually like something that's like there's like a divinity inside of you, right? In your 8th house of sex and relationships, you have the femme fatale. You could have like a nice physique. You could have like a big butt. You could have like a fat ass. You could have a nice rear end. That could be like the thing that turns you on, or that could be the thing that like really pulls a lot of people to you is your body, your shape. Like you have a nice, you could be like fit, like skinny, or you could just be like looking really nice, but you still have like that curvaceousness to your, because if you see it says like FE, like femme, like a female, me, and then fat tail, that's what it says. But it's the shadow, so it's inappropriate use of sensuality, attachment to money and power for your 8th house, which is not a bad place to really have the femme fatale. I don't believe it is. I think that's a good place to have it, myself personally. In your 7th house, you have the queen. Radiate the regal feminine, uses her benevolent authority to protect others, right? So these kind of cards go together a little bit. I don't think that's bad energy to have in your 7th and 8th house. I think that if you do end up getting into a relationship, Virgo, you tend to do pretty well. I think that you tend to do better than most. Okay. Your 6th house, you have the beggar, and it says confronts empowerment at the level of physical survival, awakens the spiritual authority of humility, compassion, and self-esteem. And that's in the house of daily routines. So you could possibly be that's your daily routine. So you're constantly working through your physical survival, right? So you probably just have kind of like a mundane job. Your fifth house, you have a really good card here: loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness. Dating, romance, fun. It's a really good card to have, I feel like, in the fifth house. You probably have a lot of really fun relationships. You do a lot of things with fun. You have people that like to go and have fun with you. Now, fourth house, we have the Shadow Prince, and this is using power for self-aggrandizement. So that could have something to do with your home or the love you receive, or that could be kind of like how these companions end up actually turning out. It might be good for a little bit, but then you find yourself like begging for attention or I don't know. There's this lot of royalty energy coming out here. We have the Queen, we have the Prince, we have the Knight. Child Divine. For the third house of like siblings. 1111 on the timer. Innocence, purity, redemption suggests a special connection with the divine. So you could have been seen, maybe you were an only child even. Could have really like reflected one of your parents a lot, where you look a lot like your parents, or there was just like you took after one of your parents a lot. The second house, we have the Child Eternal. Inability to grow up and be responsible, extreme dependency on others for physical security. In the second house of personal finances. So, and then in the first house, we have loyalty, romance, chivalry, and love of honor. The Knight and the Queen, though, those two go together. You could be in a relationship. You could be in like a good relationship, or you could have a relationship that you're really interested in pursuing and continuing. Or you're about to get into a relationship with somebody that you're really interested in pursuing and continuing to grow this bond in this relationship. I feel like that's definitely something that you are dealing with right now. It's just a really, you're going to be coming into a really committed type relationship, friendship, contract kind of energy, where it's a Knight and a Queen. So it's somebody that goes out, gets the things you need, and then brings it back to you. Now this Knight could still be kind of like or you could be if you're the Knight, if you're the one going out and getting, you could be kind of dependent on your relationship to keep you afloat, Virgo. Or like there's certain relationships in your life that it's really important that you're active and you're there and you're that you show up for, that you're consistent with, that you're honest with, that you keep good communication with, because you have to keep this thing going in order to maintain the power that you have. We have Justice. That's your card. That's your tarot card, is Justice. That just talks about balance, right? Justice is the natural ruler of the 7th house, which is this Queen energy. So I would just say really like focus on being in that divine feminine energy, working on all of the elements, being receptive of all elements, emotion, finances, passion, and communication, thoughts, ideas, right? The feminine is very she just receives, right? She's able to listen with an ability to just remain open, right? Open to things, open to possibilities, open to outcomes. I think that's kind of all I have. That was kind of a fast one. Yeah, I think that's all I got for you today, Virgo. Thank you so much for being here. I'll talk to you again on the next one, alright? So, just stay doing your thing. Bye.